Hello, Storyland. My name is Marvin. Yes, Marvin the Spellbounder. And I'm here to tell you stories. My favorite stories in Haps, which happens to be fairy tales. Now, fairy tales can have witches, dragons, knights, kings, queens, princesses, all of that into them. But today, it's going to be about Hansel and Gretel. That's right. They come to a house made of candy. So, let's begin. It all started not too long ago in the woods. Near a great forest dwelt a poor woodcutter with his wife and his 2 children. The boy was called Hansel and the girl Gretel. He had little to bite and to break, and when great scarcity fell the land, he could no longer procure daily bread, which means he no longer had the money for food. Now, when he thought over this at night in his bed, and tossed about in his anxiety, he groaned and said to his wife, "What is it to become of us? How are we to feed our poor children when we no longer have even for ourselves?" "Ah, I'll tell you what, husband," answered the woman. "Early tomorrow morning we will take our children out into the forest where it is the thickest. There we will light a fire for them and give each of them 1 piece of bread, and then we will go out to our work and leave them alone. They will not find the way home again, and we shall be rid of them." "No, wife," said the man, "I will not do that. How can I bear to leave my children alone in the forest? The wild animals would soon come and tear them to pieces." But that wasn't the case. They left their children the next day. They heard there was a witch in the forest that may be able to help their children. So the next day, Hansel and Gretel wandered in the woods. The parents left, and they took the bread, and they made a trail from where they were at, and they wandered in the woods. They came across a house made of candy. It had a gingerbread door, candy canes around it, sugar all over. Sugar was the windows, gumdrops on the roof, cakes for the walls. They were so hungry, so Hansel and Gretel ran to the house and started eating and eating. Then came a sound. "Who's eating on my house?" Hansel and Gretel looked around. They could not see nobody. So they started to eat again. And they heard it again. "Who's eating on my house?" It was the witch. They were scared. They did not know what to do. The witch came out. And she says, "Ah, it's you who'll be eating on my house. Come in, I will feed you." They went into the house. They were scared, but more hungry than scared. The witch seems nice, an old nice lady. So the witch offered them cakes and sweets, and talked to them, made them feel at home. And she said, "Now eat this, children, and you shall feel better." So they ate and ate and ate. Hansel started to become very fat, and Gretel was eating, but she did not want to eat very much. She heard that the witch ate children. And the witch said to them, "Eat, children, eat, make you feel good." So Hansel kept eating, but Gretel did not want to eat. The witch locked the children up into a cage and said, "Eat this food. I want to make you fat, very fat." And more she forced the children to eat. But Gretel was smart. Gretel didn't eat the food. So she let Gretel out to help her. She said, "Feed your brother. I want him nice and fat, for I can have some food." But she had a plan in her head. She saw the oven where the witch made her breads and cakes and biscuits. So she got close to the witch. As she bent down to pick up the pie, she pushed the witch into the oven, and she locked it and got her brother out of the cage, and she burned the witch. Then they took as much food as they could and ran home. They were very scared. And then their father and mother realized that even though you may not have enough, you always have each other, and that was more than enough. I hope you enjoy this story today, for it's not how much you can get, but it's how much you can give that matters. So thank you for coming to Storyland, and please come again to see me, Marvin the Spellbinder, to another great story. Bye bye.